So, hi. My name is Lynette, and I've recently been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. I figured I would record my journey through hopefully beating pancreatic cancer, and hopefully this video will be helpful to anyone else who's going through the same thing. I'm sure one of the first questions that I've received thus far from friends or friends of friends online is how did I find out what things triggered me to contact my doctor and figured out what was going on. I'm going to be very honest and very graphic. So if you're easily offended, you're not going to want to continue watching this video, because I am going to tell you exactly what prompted me to go to the doctor and the tests and how I felt and body changes and all of that. And I don't want to offend anyone. So if you're sensitive to that type of information, please don't continue to watch the video. The year is currently 2018. Last year, in 2017, in around August, I was diagnosed as a diabetic, and I was put on metformin, 500 milligrams twice a day. So I'd take one pill in the morning and then one pill in the evening with dinner. So I was taking that, and I started to lose some weight in December, but I was trying to lose weight, so that wasn't really alarming to me. In February, at the end of February, I noticed that I was having a lot of diarrhea, and my stool color was a light color. It was not normal, for me anyway. And it would float a lot, and there was oil in it. So I thought, okay, well, I'm just gonna, eat right and see if it'll go in a few days. I waited a week and a half, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm losing weight, so I'm not, I need to contact my doctor. So I contacted my doctor, and it was a new doctor for me in March because I switched insurances and I went to Kaiser. And the doctor that I picked was terrible. What she did was prescribed me 1,000 milligrams of metformin twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. And I'm like, why are you doing that when I have diarrhea? It just doesn't make sense. So fortunately, after she changed my prescription, I didn't know, but she went out on maternity leave. And in her last message to me, she said, please make an appointment to see me in the office. So when I went to make an appointment, I found out that she was on maternity leave. So I was like, okay, whatever. So fortunately enough, the doctor that I had back in 2009, Dr. Reyes, she was available for an appointment. So I went in to see her, and I explained to her about the diarrhea situation and about the metformin. She checked my blood tests and said there was no reason why my metformin was increased. She backed it back down and put in a few requests for stool tests. Those tests came back as malabsorption. So what happened after that was I was referred to a GI doctor, and he did a CT as well as an MRI, and the only thing it showed was that my bile duct was dilated. It's normally 3.5, and mine was dilated to an 8. So my GI at that point said, okay, you have chronic pancreatitis. And that it didn't make sense to me because I wasn't having any pain at all. I mean, you could press on my pancreas, or the area my pancreas is in, no pain at all. So he put me on Creon. Those are digestive enzymes that I take, one pill with each meal that I have, and that helps me to absorb the nutrients in the food. So from there, my stool was getting back to normal, and I was feeling better. So cut to October, early October, I believe. I might have my time frame off a little bit. I could refer back to my account, but I'm just too lazy to do that right now. I drink a lot of water, so my urine typically was either clear or really light yellow. And I woke up one morning and it was dark orange, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I called my doctor, my new doctor, and because I had picked a new one in between, and he put in a request for a urinalysis. So that urinalysis came back contaminated, so he ordered another one. And I took that urinalysis, and that one also came back contaminated, which is, I'm 49 years old. I know how to take a urine sample without contaminating it. And that should have been my first clue. But my doctor said, it appears as though you have a UTI, which I've never had in my life, but I'm like, okay, he's the doctor, so he prescribed me some antibiotics. 3 days, maybe 4 days after I was taking the antibiotic, I went completely yellow. I think the yellow, wow, I'm kind of tired and I'm in bed, but I think the yellow is like almost completely gone at this point, but I got jaundice, so that freaked me out. So I called my doctor and I'm like, I'm yellow, my skin's yellow, my eyes are yellow, I'm glowing. Can you put in a test to check my liver? Because my brother had cirrhosis of the liver and got jaundice. And I don't know why I connected those two, because my father in 2007 passed from pancreatic cancer. And he also had jaundice, but for whatever reason, I just assumed it was my liver. He took the test, and my bilirubin, which is normally 0.5 to 1.3, I believe. Mine was at a 19. So it appeared as though my liver was just, really, really bad. So my doctor at that point told me to go to emergency because I needed to have, it looked at. So I went into emergency, and they took a lot of blood tests. They did a CT, they did an MRI, they did a stomach ultrasound, and they had said that they found a gallstone, and that my biliary duct was plugged or closed. So I had to have something called an ERCP, where they go in with a scope. It's an endoscopic test, and they went in to put in a stent or 2 or 3 to open up the biliary duct so that I wouldn't have jaundice. When they also were going in to remove or something about the gallstone. So I went in for that procedure, and when I came out of that procedure, I woke up and the GI doctor was there, and I was still very groggy. He told me that he put in 2 stents. He put in 3, but 1 had fallen out. And not be alarmed if I, saw it come out in my bowel movement. And he also told me that he found a mass of cancer. And I heard it But my next question to him was, did you get the gallstone out? And he said no. So that was hard to hear. I got to talk to him the next day, and the next day he explained that it was under 4 millimeters, and that it appeared to be contained, that it hadn't spread anywhere. It was towards the back of the opening of my pancreas, and it was causing the bile duct to, I guess the growth of it was causing the bile duct to be plugged. And I got assigned to a pancreatic surgeon, and things just went on from there. I went home from the hospital a day or two later, and I was expecting, because a lot of things you read online, or a lot of people will tell you, when you have an ERCP, you instantaneously start getting pancreatic flares where you're getting all kinds of pain, and I was like expecting the worst, and thankfully I didn't. But my bilirubin levels, because I had to go back and get my blood checked again to make sure that the stents were working. My bilirubin levels were not going down, so I had to have another ERCP, and this time they requested an EUS, which is a biopsy, endoscopic ultrasound with a biopsy, and that was to be done in Sacramento. So I had that procedure done in Sacramento, and they put in a metal stent that's like coated with some kind of coating. I don't know if it's plastic or what they coat it with, but I had a metal stent in. Since then, my bilirubin levels have gone down. Last it was checked was last week, and it was at a 3.5. My oncologist, who I met with, wanted to wait until, because I went from a 19 to a 16 in a week, and then a week after that it went from 16 down to a 5, and then my oncologist and I talked, and he wanted to wait until I get closer to a 4 or below before we start chemotherapy. And the reason why they want to do chemotherapy is because they want to see if they could shrink it before they go in and get it. And because cancer cells are on like a micro level, they want to kill off any chances of cancer, random cancer cells wherever they might be, prior to the surgery, because new tests indicate that having chemotherapy before having a Whipple procedure yields better results, and I'm all about that. So while I'm afraid of chemotherapy and it kicking my ass, I'm going to move forward with it. I'm also taking, or I'm going to start taking tonight, this is CBD oil. CBD oil, you may or you may not agree with it. I don't care if you are against medicinal marijuana or if you're for it. This is what works for me. About chemo, I see a lot of people being attacked online and on YouTube about opting for chemotherapy. Oh, the toxins are terrible, it kills you, blah, blah, blah. I have cancer. If I don't do something about the cancer, it's going to kill me. So I'm doing it both naturally and with chemotherapy, along with eating correctly, eating clean, and getting exercise. So please don't lecture me if you don't agree with chemotherapy. do what's good for you, and I'll do what's good for me. I'm documenting my journey in hopes that it helps someone else. Tonight is the night before I have my port install. And as you can see, you know, I'm pretty thin up here. So my port most likely will be sticking out. I don't know if it's going to be here or here. I'm a little scared about the surgery, but you know, part of me is apprehensive. Another part of me is like, you know, I have to do this. So suck it up, you know. I've had really good experiences thus far with my doctors, with an exception of that first one. But I'm positive about this. Now, when I spoke with my oncologist, I know some of you are asking, okay, well, what stage, pardon me, what stage of pancreatic cancer you're in? My doctor didn't tell me. And he said, I'm not going to tell you you're in this stage or you're in that stage, but I can tell you that we believe we caught it early. And I think a lot of that was because of my diligence in figuring out what was going on with my body. So if I could offer advice to anybody, if you see anything going wrong with your stool, with losing weight, check it out. You know, better safe than sorry. As I explained earlier, my pancreatic cancer, my father passed from it in 2007, and he was 65. And 4 months ago, my mom had surgery, or well, it's nearing 4 months. She had pancreatic cancer also. So mine actually might be hereditary. I don't know. There's reports saying that metformin can cause pancreatic cancer. I don't know. All of this happened after I started taking metformin. I'm not going to focus on that because right now my focus is about getting better, beating this cancer. You know, maybe after this is through, I'll look into it. I don't know. Or just be happy that I'm alive. So tomorrow's my port install, and I'll do a video. I'm going to try to do as many videos as I can. I'm looking like toe up right now. I don't like to get on camera looking like this. I'm in my bed, and most likely I will be filming from my bed because it'll be at night, and I'm, you know, I got time to myself at night. So Tuesday I start chemotherapy. Now, because my bilirubin levels aren't at normal, they're a little, just slightly elevated. I mean, compared to 19, 3.5 is like really good. And it could even be lower. I just haven't had a blood test recently. But I'm sure tomorrow when I go in to get my port, they're going to, you know, draw some more blood and do some testing on me before we start the chemo on Tuesday. My oncologist told me because I'm not at the complete normal level bilirubin-wise, I am going to get a 50% dose of the chemotherapy. I do know I'm getting 3 different toxins. One, I didn't make this shit up. One is called 5FU cancer. That one I believe is the one that's, I should start over, but when I go in for chemo, I believe what happens, and I'll clarify when I'm going through it, is they give me one toxin, then I get saline, then I get another toxin, and then I get saline. And then they hook me up to a pump, and that's when the 5FU toxin is pumped through me. And I wear that pump. Tuesday is when I get the chemo. I wear the pump Tuesday and Wednesday, and Thursday I go back to the hospital. They remove the pump, and I get a shot of filgrastim, which is Zarzio. And then I'm supposed to give myself shots, I believe, for days 3 through 7. So 5 days of shots. And that is actually supposed to help build up my white blood cells, I believe. But it's like a vitamin thing to help build my immune system back up after it gets beat down by the chemotherapy. What else? I'm also going to be taking shots of wheatgrass because I hear wheatgrass is really good for white blood cells and building immune system. I'm going to be doing as much as I can to keep my energy up, and well, so I can get through chemo. I don't know how long this video can be. I'm at like almost 21 minutes. So I'll probably cut it here. I may make another and upload it. Or I might wait until tomorrow. So if you have any questions, you can post them below. I'm going to let you know I am going to moderate my comments on here because cancer is negative. That's the only negativity I have to tolerate. I'm not going to be attacked for choosing chemo. I'm not going to be attacked for choosing to have CBD oil. I also have edibles that I'm going to eat if I'm feeling nauseous and food isn't my friend. I'm going to eat those edibles, and then from what I understand, that's going to help me eat food. I've already lost enough weight. I don't want to lose any more. So, and actually, you know, for about a week now, I've been trying to eat like a savage. A healthy savage, but what I've been doing to gain weight, and I have gained almost 5 pounds, is whenever I have a meal, I drink one of those boost shakes, because it has a lot of protein and it has a lot of calories. So it's almost like I'm eating 2 meals, but I'm drinking one and eating the other. And that's actually helped me to put on 5 pounds, almost 5 pounds. I'm like a couple ounces short of 5 pounds. I'm 5'2", and I was my lowest was like 134 pounds. I'm at 139.9 right now. And I'm hoping, you know, after I throw back some food tomorrow before my port install, that maybe I can put on a little bit more. I don't know. I'm trying to eat really late before I go to sleep so that I'll like retain the weight. And it's so funny because before this I was trying so hard to lose it. But again, if you have any questions, please post them below. I'll try to answer them as best as I can. I hope this information helps somebody. And for those of you who are going through this, you know, if you need somebody to talk to, shoot me a message. I'll be more than happy to talk to you. For my friends and family that are watching this video, and for the tremendous outpour of support that I've received online, in person, over the phone, via text, an email. You guys are everything. I don't want to cry on this video, so I'm going to cut it at that. To my friends and family, I love you all, and I'm gonna fight. So thanks for watching.